to exactly 4:39 Central African time. This is Africa in Business. Thank you for staying with us. Now, a Pan-African renewable energy company, Granville Energy, has signed a $1.1 billion Memorandum of Understanding. This is with Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited, and together they hope to develop Africa's first GW floating solar power plant at Kainji Dam. That's a 1 gigawatt floating solar power plant at Kainji Dam in Nigeria. It's termed the continent's largest and most ambitious renewable project to date. This facility will be in, obviously, Sub-Saharan Africa, and the floating solar facility aims to strengthen regional energy security. It hopes to drive industrialisation and also create thousands of jobs through local manufacturing of solar components. For more on this, we're joined on the line by Tabi T Tabi, the CEO of Granville Energy. A very good afternoon to you. Good to have you with us. Welcome to Africa in Business.
Good afternoon, Thami, and nice to be with you again.
Great. Now, this is quite a fascinating one. Can you tell us more about this floating solar power plant at Kainji Dam and the partnership as well between Granville Energy and Mainstream Energy Solutions? What does this partnership represent for the renewable energy future of the continent?
Absolutely, Thami. We are very excited as Granville to partner with Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited, Nigeria, to build this ambitious project. To put things into perspective, Kainji Dam, at commission in 1968, had a capacity of about 760 megawatts, and we are going to develop almost 25% more capacity than its original size. And there's enough space on the lake created from the dam that we can build this capacity. For Nigeria, obviously, it's a major addition to the national grid capacity, but also for West Africa, we can add hugely needed electricity capacity to the West Africa power port and create more jobs for the countries.
We're quite used to the traditional solar farms. How does a hybrid solar hydro model work in comparison to the traditional ones?
Okay, so the traditional solar power plant, we would need a large piece of land. In this case, for 1 gigawatt, we would need about 13 to 20 square kilometers of space. So if we were to use a typical solar power plant, that's the space we would need to construct the multi-structure to install the panels and feed into the grid. In the case of a hybrid solar and hydro power plant, we use the surface area of the dam or the lake created by the dam, the reservoir, where we use floats designed specifically for this water body to install the solar panels, and then we feed the grid, the electricity into the grid at the point of interconnection with the hydropower plant. So see it as two different generation mechanisms working in tandem, feeding electricity at the same time into the grid. The excess power the power we generate gets into the kind of feeding point into the national.
Tabi T Tabi, I do apologize. Our connection there really not the best. I'm hearing every second word. I am going to ask our producer Mabo to try and get hold of you again on a better line as we continue this conversation. But really fascinating how this hybrid solar model is going to work. It's a solar hydro model. We're used to having traditional solar farms on pieces of land, but now he says you actually need less water surface in order to be able to generate this solar power. And when we get him back again, we'll also talk about how this project is going to be, impacting the continent's decarbonization targets. We also know of the Africa Union's Agenda 2063 goals for sustainable inclusive growth, and whether this particular hybrid model is going to assist in the achievement of those goals. It's gone exactly 4:43 Central African time. Do stay with us. Tabi T Tabi, the CEO of Granville Energy, back with us once again. You were still describing this really fascinating process of how this hybrid solar model works. Please go ahead.
Yes, Thami. So I was saying that visualize this as two different generation mechanisms working in tandem with each other. So the hydropower plant generates electricity from the force of water that runs through the turbine, and the solar panels generate electricity from solar radiation on the panel, and both of them feed in electricity to the grid at the same point of interconnection. So basically augmenting the capacity.
Augmented capacity. It seems to get better and better as you go along. I was just saying to our listeners on the continent that this is the type of project that directly supports the continent's decarbonization targets. What is it that drives your vision for Africa's clean energy transformation? All of this, obviously, with the African Union's Agenda 2063 in mind.
Very interesting point, Thami. Number one is economic development. We cannot develop our economies. We cannot grow the economies at the rate at which we want without a stable and affordable electricity supply. Energy is key. Without energy, we have no economic activity. Secondly, it's obviously climate change. Africa is the least contributor to carbon emission in the world, yet we are going to face the greatest impact. So this is part of us contributing to the global decarbonization process and using our natural resources in abundance, obviously sunlight, to contribute to the decarbonization process. And obviously at the same time, bring the badly needed skills in advanced technologies such as advanced manufacturing, engineering, and science.
I wonder though, as I let you go, Tabi T, how much of these solar components are going to be imported into the continent, or is there a really strong local manufacturing component?
Well, we have a sister company that is involved in manufacturing, and obviously we will support local manufacturers in Nigeria and around Africa. Part of doing this project is to drive local manufacturing, so we'll act as a catalyst to support local content.
All right, well, thank you so much.
At least about 60 to 70% of the content will come from the continent.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that update and wishing you all of the best. This MOU now signed, and we'll be keeping abreast of developments on that front.
Thanks, Thami.
All right, thanks. That's Tabi T Tabi, the CEO of Granville Energy. He takes us to exactly 4:46 Central African time. In just a moment, we'll turn our sights on it.